Hi, I'm Tony Reed. I've been doing a podcast over on Soundcloud and Rumbel for about 8 years. Started out as family and friends, got a decent base, not a whole lot of people, but I've always tried to do it on YouTube, and every time I do, they cank me for something. It's either you played Fox News Media, or you did this, or you did that, so I've just never tried. So today, I'm trying to teaser, and from going forward, I'm going to do a teaser of the show that I have, edited down and making sure I don't have the bad subjects that YouTube doesn't like anything that's not super liberal. I'm an independent. I hate both parties, but I hate the media worse because they suck, whether it be Fox or MSNBC. The yin and yang of incompetence is everywhere, and we can't really get the straight answer out of an entire conglomerate in Washington. It's frustrating. So I cover a bunch of subjects, and sometimes I even cover the ones that are a little bit ugly that you're not supposed to, but I do it anyway. So if you're interested, at the end of this teaser, there's another version of this, so you'll see it. But you can find this at FlyoverPolitik with a K on SoundCloud or Rumbel 482-467. I'd like to have your input, so you can email the show at foppodcast@gmail.com, foppodcast@gmail.com. You can say I suck, call me a racist, do whatever the hell you want. Be nice. I always like feedback. Feedback's good. So without further ado, here is a minced up version of it where I just have little segments showing what I cover. And this is your standard show, anywhere from 1 hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours and 25 minutes, I think what today's show is. If you do come and listen, thank you very much, and have a good day.
FlyoverPolitik podcast, the show for normal Americans. From this undisclosed bunker, here's your host, Tony Reed. This is scary. Hashtag 25th Amendment.
President is not equipped to do the job.
So now they're saying he's mentally incapacitated, and more than 24 Democratic lawmakers are backing a bill that says he should leave office.
Should he be removed from office?
His brain is simply incapable of processing the information, emotionally, psychologically unstable. Initiate proceedings to remove the president.
You and several of your Democratic House colleagues met with a psychiatry professor from Yale, Dr. Bandy Lee. She told CNN today, quote, "As the president is unraveling, he seems to be losing his grip on reality and reverting to conspiracy theories."
Dr. Lee.
And welcome back to FlyoverPolitik podcast. It's the 11th July, year of our Lord 2024, and that is 9 minutes, which I only cut down to 1 or 2 minutes. 9 minutes of the left and the media saying we need to impeach Donald Trump because he is cray-cray. But we're not doing that today, because that wouldn't be prudent. We're going to cover more of the media flip, which I'm going to do about 2 seconds. Just play about 10 sound bites, just really quick. They've already flipped. It's Biden, or shut up, stop, Biden, because they know Biden's not going to step down. We're going to cover Unilever. They had a global information freaking hearing, and Ben Shapiro was there, and I learned stuff I didn't even know. It's the usual crap. There's clearinghouses for advertisement, and of course, if you're right, you're wrong. We're going to have just a lot of different subjects. Thread, which wasn't covered during the briefing, the left came on and said it's just a bullshit, and that Daily Wire should be restricted, and Ben Shapiro's a Nazi, even though he's a Jewish guy. Garmin's powerful. Why? WFA members combined with almost $1 trillion annually in global ad spend. Garmin includes every major agency holding company in its ranks. Garmin members collude to cut Twitter revenue after Elon Musk's acquisition. And early as November 22, Danish energy company and Garmin member Orate contacted Garmin to discuss the Twitter situation and a possible boycott. Garmin surveys member about Elon Musk Orsted and confirmed the boycott, writing, "Based on your recommendation, we have stopped all paid advertising for Twitter. Gronkowski, who leads GARM, denied organizing a boycott on Twitter, which is a lie. Even Joe Rogan talks about it on his show, and we'll listen to it in a second, because we have the media ran with Solwell Dogs Shapiro, which that wasn't the line. Other ones, Steer team members have issued to Spotify with Joe Barone and the G groups. They try to basically take out Joe Rogan. They went after Fox News. Their email below some of their thought about so-called misinformation and political divisive content, referring to Breitbart group. They hated their ideology. GARM recommends its member work with orgs such as GDI to inform their readers. Here is, this is good. This is good. There are good, and then there's bad. Good, as you can see by the slide. NPR, AP, New York Times, ProPublica, Insider, USA Today, WAPO, BuzzFeed, HuffPo. Bad. New York Post, Reasons, Real Clear Politics, Daily Wire, The Blaze, One American News, American Conservative, The Federalist, Newsmax, American Spectators. Because once again, they want to push an agenda. So yesterday, when the left got on, it was all Project 2025, Ben Shapiro's a Nazi. Here's Eric Swalwell. He got 8. I don't care, I don't know what I got. We found receipts. Eric Swalwell and Ben Shapiro feud. It was all Swalwell good, Shapiro bad, and I just think this is the greatest takedown. And I got to disconjoin, so there'll be a bunch of repeats, but this was French kiss.
Thank you. Mr. Shapiro, thank you for joining us today. I think it is important that you're here as one of the leading conservative voices in the country. And the country has, in the last couple weeks, talked a lot about and Googled Project 2020.
Now remember, Rush Limbaugh, bad. Tucker, bad. Hannity, bad. Shapiro, bad, because he's a gateway drug. You never have these heroes where people go and directly assault Rachel Maddow, Joy Reid, Joy Behar, any of them for their religion, but you're about to see it.
It's one of the most Googled search terms right now, and you're not going to get any censorship from me. So I just wanted to know, from your perspective, I think it would help us understand, on just like a scale of 0 to 100%, how much do you support Project 2025?
I think, like President Trump, I haven't looked all that deeply at Project 2025, but it seems that Democrats on this committee, sort of like Peter Pan and Tinkerbell, if they say Project 2025 enough, their presidential candidate becomes alive again.
Oh!
And so,
nice.
Well, let's just talk about pieces of it, and I guess you can tell me if you support it. You probably
Sorry,
want
the
less
volume's
bureaucracy,
low.
right?
I do.
I want less bureaucracy. You want more efficiency?
Yeah.
I do.
I want more efficiency. You want taxpayer money spent wisely?
I do. Congrats on becoming a Republican.
Yeah.
Whoa!
My parents would be proud. Mass deportations, it calls for that. Do you support that part?
I support the deportation of any illegal immigrant who's in the United States who is not of benefit to the generalized American public.
Since this is a show about actual facts, 62% of Americans want mass deportations, and 53% of Latino, Latinx, whatever woke-ass word a fucking lesbian white woman come up with, they want deportations too.
So if they're picking agriculture that puts food on the tables of
Here we go.
everyday Americans, they've never committed a crime inside the United States,
God,
they didn't
these
come across
people.
with documents, should they be deported?
If they have not paid taxes and if their draw on the taxpayer benefits are larger than the contribution they are making to the economy, or if they're involved in criminal activity, they should be deported.
How do we measure that?
the same way that the IRS measures my income every year. It seems like if the IRS can track down every aspect of every receipt that I've ever submitted, and
So
they
if
can
they
do
were
so for
willing to
hundreds of
pay-
millions of other Americans, they can do that for illegal immigrants as well, except for the fact that no one knows how many are in the country thanks to this administration.
So you would be cool with creating a system where they could pay those taxes if they wanted to, and then stay and work and put food on our table?
It depends on how long it would take for them to pay the taxes, and they would also have to go presumably to the back of the line, although I'm not sure why I'm testifying about immigration policy at this point.
Yes.
How about banning the abortion pill? That's part of Project 2025. Do you support that part?
I think that that's a state-by-state issue on a personal level.
I'm just asking you.
Sure, I'm a fully pro-life person, which means that I'm not in favor of the distribution of the abortion pill.
Banning same-sex marriage, what about that part?
I am in favor of traditional marriage between a man and a woman, and I am perfectly fine with anyone having any sort of voluntary sexual arrangement they seek. That's a different thing from whether the government should attach benefits to that personal relationship.
But you think it's a sin to have same-sex marriage?
I mean, I'm confused. Are you asking me as a religious Jew what I think about biblically?
Okay, we're doing this segment because I watched him the other day on a show, but this is amazing. Influencer recruited by State Department promoter NATO summit confessed he thought it was about Sharknado. So these are the people they're using to get elected.
I don't know why we're talking about Biden's mental state when we can just look at his record. Donald Trump couldn't dream.
This is his team talking to him.
And also, by the way, I'm sure that you're the type that thinks that Donald Trump getting reelected is dangerous, as I do, and it's an existential threat. You have no credibility to say those things anymore because you are sacrificing the chance to beat him to this cult of personality that you clearly have bought into.
Oh, Crystal, come on now. You got to be voting for Joe Biden. I mean, when Donald Trump, if he wins and appoints a bunch of extreme justices, I'm sure you'll be upset at that vote at that point. No, Joe Biden has
Listen, I
incumbency
personally have
advantage.
a moral red line when it comes to genocide, okay? Call me crazy, but I do have a litmus test on that.
And then when Donald Pierce, I saw you retweeted an article where it said you tore up a literal TikToker. So we're just playing the same game. No,
well,
President Biden should be...
I don't disagree with you.
There you go. I love it. Look, President Biden should be the nominee. I wonder where Dave got his MD, where he got his degree to specialize in neurology. And I just find it funny how he's saying, oh, we shouldn't respect Biden and Karine Jean-Pierre, but I'm sure that he's voting for the convicted felon and the proven sexual abuser.
This is all he's got. He's a snotty little fuck.
Politics, both Democrat and Republicans involve themselves in many criminal activities. So Biden is not free from any of that. You don't have 20-something shell companies, laying around.
Joe Biden doesn't have shell companies.
Oh
yeah, he does.
An advisor tells me. I cannot see that happening. But we actually have now somebody joining us who is pro-Biden and thinks that he won last night. It's the TikToker Harry Sisson. Harry, you think Biden won last night?
One person.
Yeah, no, I did, definitely. On the substance of the conversation, Biden won. His policy was pragmatic. It was
This is part two.
Get him, Harry.
I watched this too.
And what are you, like 80? Like, relax, buddy. Take a breather. You're okay, I promise. It's okay.
Ooh, that was so good.
That's how he talks to people. Arrogant fuck.
Just got badly booed while giving a speech at SneakerCon in Philadelphia.
Harry, what did we say about lying? That's a no-no. Yes, Donald Trump was at SneakerCon in Philadelphia because he was selling limited edition sneakers with his autograph. By the way, all 1,000 pairs sold out in under 2 hours. He made $400,000 in under 2 hours. Oh, and you want to clean?
Here we go.
How are you, man? I'm good, man. How are you? I hear a lot of great things about you.
I hear a lot of great things about you, too.
That's because you're saying.
Well, you know what? I was just thinking about this earlier. You make the job very easy because you do a lot of good stuff, and the other guy really sucks. So.
Why are you still holding hands? Why? Stop it. That's very that.
What's that thesis letter that you sent out to the old millennial?
Good. Oh, it's good, is it, Harry? That cease and desist letter really changed things? Bro, the only thing I followed from your cease and desist letter was I stopped wearing the shirt with Biden sniffing you on it. The rest of that letter can go fuck itself. The funny thing is
Man, this is too funny. Donald Trump got booed as he arrived at the Clemson, South Carolina college football game tonight.
Is that so, Harry? Okay. Let's see what your evidence is.
You gotta see it. Take a look at the clip.
I heard cheering. That ain't booing.
How are Hey, man. I'm good, man. How are you? I hear a lot of great things about you.
I hear a lot of great things about you.
I'd be willing to bet any kind of money that Biden doesn't even know that dude's name.
You know he doesn't. He's under investigation for his comments earlier today about the Supreme Court ruling. He said some fucking bullshit.
This is day one of exposing Harry Sisson until he stops making any political content. Let's go. So he just tweeted, Trump couldn't fill the venue he was speaking at tonight in Philly. Look at all those empty seats. He's referring to the seats right there in that corner. And he continues to say that turns out people don't want to vote for a convicted felon. MAGA isn't as popular as Trump would like you to believe it is. He even doubles down on this and says, I mean, seriously, look at these empty seats. The capacity of this venue is 10,200, meaning Trump got well below that number. And per usual, he got owned in the comments. First of all, Ashley St. Clair said, is this a joke? The place is at capacity. You aren't allowed to fill the top row.
By the way, it's not just V that's basically a mouthpiece for the White House. V is managed by a company called Palette Management. Palette Management was hired by the DNC in 2020 to work on campaign videos for TikTok. And in 2022, public records show that Palette received about $200,000 from the DNC. Gen Z for Change also works for Palette, which again has direct ties to the DNC. Harry also works for Palette, which again has direct ties.
Are these people even capable of telling the truth? Harry shares this post from the Biden-Harris campaign team saying that Donald Trump had a small attendance the other day in Philly, but when Biden spoke there, he filled the venue.
So I shot a gun for the first time today.
Why does that not surprise me? Anyway, it's not new that guns are dangerous. Yes, guns are powerful. Nobody is saying that they're not. If you had actually shot a gun.
He's going to sit down with Lester Holt, have another choreographed. That's going to help, he thinks. Organizers. This is where it starts to hurt. Organizers for at least one Chicago fundraiser scheduled during the Democratic National Convention have decided to not proceed with the mid-August event. A source with knowledge of the discussion told CNN. When the money dies, things get bad. So they can keep posting handmade. They can have their people say they need to kill family members. The reality is they're trying to run an election on you're electing a team. They think this is going to work. And I don't know why they think this is going to work, because it's not going to work. You can't run on we're electing a team. You can't. It doesn't work. The reality is we want a president of the United States who can answer the phone call at 0300, because that's your standards. That's what you say. And one of the videos that I didn't play, and I wanted to save it for the end, this is the difference between Republicans and Democrats. This is Katie Britt
the Congressman. I
from
was wondering
Alabama.
how much money it would take to buy you back from Big Oil.
From Big Oil?
Yeah.
Oh, you look at how dishonest that was. You asked if you could take a selfie and now you're asking questions. And tell me, what do you think that Big Oil? Talk to me about that.
I think that the climate crisis is here and getting worse, and you're being
energy-
funded by the people who are making that happen.
Listen, we've got to be not only energy independent, but energy dominant. We do it better than anybody.
Here's the difference. Lefty won't even talk to fucking reporters now, because they're now getting the Republican treatment where they're asking, what do you think about Biden? What do you think about Biden? What do you think about Biden? And they just walk away, or they yell at him like the First Lady did. Nationals going through San Diego at 2,000 a day. Or month. Do the math. These people are the party of science and the party of math and the party of reason, and they have no science and no reason because they say there's 99 genders and a bitch ain't one. So that wraps up another fucking episode of FlyoverPolitik podcast. Share with family and friends by going to Soundcloud, FlyoverPolitik, like and follow. Email the show at foppodcast@gmail.com. You can see it on Rumbel at 482-467.